Hello, I'm really happy to be making this video because it's about something that I've been thinking about and working for a while now. And this is my work, my offer. I often think, and I made posts about this, what is the best way to describe what I do and how can I be of service in the best way possible, in the most effective way possible, and what is my work really about. So this is about my particular program that is a 16 weeks and 16 sessions program called The Road to Your Authentic Life. After all the thinking I had over months, maybe years, and thinking about what's the most important thing, that the most important outcome I can provide, I realized that authenticity is in the center of it all. And before maybe reading a little bit of my offer, I want to talk a little bit about this. Why is it so important? This is not just a matter of thinking about if you're lying, if you're not lying, or what are the things that you're hiding. No, it's more than that. This is about all those little things that you don't say, for instance, or the things that you try to say but they off come out distorted. This used to happen to me a lot. First, I would hide. That was for most of my life I was hiding. And then when I start showing up, I would sometimes say the words but not use the right intentions, or try to hide them in some way, or try to smile too much, or try to laugh at the end, because it was so hard to deal with the vulnerability of being fully authentic. So this is authenticity is about this as well. It's about what you say, what you do, and the way you say and do those things. And why I think it's so important, because I think all the struggles, all the challenges, all the problems that may appear are just things that are in the way between your authenticity. They step in the way like a barrier, and the world. So it's something in the middle. So what at the surface might look like an anxiety problem, stress problem, whatever it is, it's only a problem because you feel inside that there is something wrong, that there's something missing. That's something that you want to do but you're not able to. And that is because inside you know that there's a feeling that something is wrong, that something should be different, that you want different, that you desire different. Sometimes you don't even know what it is, but it is there. And is that authentic truth from inside that is somehow being covered, masked, is being distorted. And my work is about removing those obstacles so you can express yourself freely and authentically. That's what it is. And of course, with that comes the sense of freedom, authenticity, which is the main word here, a sense of being yourself, of expressing your own truth, and living the life the way you want to live. So now I'm going to read through maybe a few things. And the way I describe this is that this is an invitation for people that are at a crossroads in life, that feel lost or unsure, and desire to get to a point where they are certain about who they truly are, what they want, and have absolute clarity about their own path. Why is this related to authenticity? It's just because of the same things that I just been talking about. And I'll tell you just about myself that I felt lost for a very long time. First, I didn't know what to do. Then I decided, just since I didn't know, to decide to establish certain goals, certain directions, because that I knew was better than just not have anything, just to feel lost. When I started doing that, first I got the sense that, yeah, maybe that's it, that's what I want. But it was only here, it didn't feel like it was, but I kept pursuing that in this case was my career, for instance, that I was doing something totally unrelated to what I do now. And only when I dealt with something, a big something that was on the way, related to fear and anxiety, only when I dealt with that, I could see my inner truth. I could see my authenticities. And with that came a feeling of certainty about my path, about what I really wanted. And it was absolutely clear from that moment on the things that I didn't want. And this is the process that I want to take you on. Because a lot of doubts, if you're at a crossroads in life, if you don't know exactly what you want to do, or there's so many possibilities around, you don't know how to decide, then it has all to do with this. All to do with the things that are in front of your eyes that don't let you see through your what is really inside, what feels right. Because even that feeling, you might never get it. For a long time I didn't. And now I have a feeling inside that, yeah, this is right for me, this is not right for me, this is the path I want to go, this is not the path I want to go, independently of outcomes or of risks or of failures. Having the absolute clarity is just such a powerful feeling that all insecurities vanishes and doubts, because you don't need to go to your mind to try to rationalize, to try to see the positives and the negatives. You don't need to balance things out, because you know it feels when it feels right and when it doesn't. And that's here the main thing, that the main message that I want to pass to you and to tell you about. Can you imagine that? All the doubts away, knowing how to deal with pressure situations, how to deal with fear, with anxiety, with stress, with doubt. So the crossroads stop being crossroads, because you know about what you want, you know how to take those steps. Or if there's still doubt, it's much easier to navigate through doubts. And here in my post, in my written post, I separated between three things that I think are very important. You can see this as perspectives or ways of thinking about it. I separated it to past, present, and future in the following ways. The first thing, and here I'm not going to read through, I'm just briefly describe it. The first thing is about the future. There is something that you want. Even if you don't know what it is, you at least know that you want to know where you want to go, for instance. There's something that you want. This is about your future. There's a goal, you want to find your direction, you want to make a decision, you want to know what you want in your career or relationships. But there's something that you want, something that you desire from within. So the first step is to work on that. To what point can we work together so we can figure as specifically and as clearly as possible what is that you want? In a way that I also give you the tools to work on that, so you don't get dependent on me, because the whole goal is for you to grow so you become independent. So first, there is this vision. You can call it a dream, or it is, whatever it is. That is the future about a goal, a direction, something that you can point at, even if in the beginning you're not 100% sure about it. Can always be readjusted, but we need a certain direction. The second point, it is about the things that are preventing you, the struggles, the problems, the issues that are preventing you from getting there. And this is usually related to the past. Can be a mindset problem, and we work together on that. So you change your mindsets to be empowering. It can be a problem of perspective, the way you think about things, but it can be much more than that. It can be a problem of your own attitude towards life. And that are things that you get from the past. either we copied from someone or we developed in a reaction towards something. Many times trying to protect ourselves. And this is where some of my work with trauma comes in, because trauma, it has a huge impact in our lives. Sometimes even small things that happen in childhood can have a huge impact in adulthood because they are still there. They are still slowing us down. They are still distorting the way we experience life. They are still changing our behaviors. So this is about the issues, the problems that are stepping in the way, that are related to the past, and we're going to work on that as well. The third thing is the present, because everything happens in the present. We might be thinking about the past, or the past might be affecting us subconsciously. We might be thinking about the future, having a lot of thoughts, speculating a lot, fantasizing a lot, but everything happens in the present. So a lot of my work is about, I relate this more to the life coach side of things, that is deciding what is the plan of action, what are the concrete real world actions that need to be taken, what are the exercises and practices, things that I'm going to pass you to for you to practice at home to deal better with these struggles that I mentioned before, the anxiety, the stress, and all that. How can you live life feeling positive things more intensely right here, right now, in the present? All of that is part of what I do and part of what I'm going to teach you and help you with. So this is absolute, essentially, to have this vision of past, present, and future. Neglecting any of the three will have a huge price, really, really big thing. So we are going to work on three of them, yes? And we might switch between the three of them. As we evolve one, we might have the necessity to readjust another. For instance, as you work on a vision of your future, then you might get stuck and notice that you need to work through some past patterns, some patterns from the past, and we go back to work on that. Or we might figure out that we need to readjust the actions to take in the present, or that you're not feeling, you suppressing emotion, for instance, therefore your experience in the present is not as intense as it could be, or you're missing out. If you have the missing out, the feeling of missing out, many things can happen. So let me just reopen here my program so I have a look. So this strategy and this way of thinking came from my own experience, something that I've been working on since I moved out of my country, and I felt myself very lost and struggling a lot with anxiety and stress and all that, all the problems that I mentioned. And I looked through many sources, reading, watching videos and all that, and trying things in my real life. How can I first make friends, for then just try to cope better with anxiety? And I collected things from different sources and concluded that there needs to be this combination, not only of this perspective of past, present, and future, but as well in terms of the work. In terms of the work, when I started working on myself, I worked basically with strategies from life coaching, and it got to a point that they were limiting me a lot. And that's when some Eastern teachings, like from Zen teachings, for instance, came along and helped me a lot with it as well. Later, I was introduced to some trauma therapy and ways to work through your trauma. Although therapy is not exactly what I do, I have strategies for you to not only cope with these past events of your life, but even overcome them. So I got inspirations from these three sides, three fields that really were really effective in my life. And now I use them with my clients, and they are extremely effective as well. Combined, they are much more powerful than used in an isolated form. Many of these are adapted through my own experience and then adapted to the specific problem or issue of you might have. So I want to just finalize telling you what this includes. So these are one-on-one sessions that we have once a week. And then what I usually do is to record the sessions if the client wants them, or I can record just the part, because during the session, most of the sessions there is sort of a practice or exercise, something that requires you basically to close your eyes and follow my guidance. So I can just record that part, I send it to you so you can then do during the week at home. Some are very effective to deal with this, just to calm you down, to deal with anxiety and the problems that I mentioned. Others allow you to visualize very clear perspectives or to figure out your vision of the future. But then you have the recording of that. Then I'm also available every day through Messenger or WhatsApp. You can send me messages and I'll reply to them whenever you want. And I often have as well assignments, something else for you to work on, being like the plan of action, concrete things to do during the week. This is a very concrete thing that I'll give you assignments for. And I will just finalize with I'm already in the last paragraph about who is this for. So this is for someone that has the desire to do the best they can do, the curiosity for it, that somehow feel or know that there's more to life, that they are either missing out or they are confused and they know they can overcome it, just don't know how to. Maybe it's a problem that has been there their whole life, like it was in my case. Maybe you're in that situation as well. Someone that is struggling with something, maybe it has had success in some areas of life, but there's still a sticking point. There's something that is slowing you down, something that is preventing you to get to the places you want to get, from having the experiences you want. In my personal life, I saw the results of this in many areas, like in my career, that getting to the point that I'm now at, doing the process that I teach in this program, led me to change my career completely, change my relationships, the way I live them, the way I experienced life, the intensity, the emotions I allow myself to feel and to show to others. This affects me in all areas of life. Even if in some measures I was being successful, let's say it this way, there was that feeling that something is missing. And this is for people that have that. Maybe some areas of life are okay, but others are not. But there's this profound wanting to figure out a better way, to overcome something. And that's who this is for. The investment for this program is in the low 4 figures. If you want to know exact price, just send me a direct message and I'll tell you all about it. And we can also talk a little bit and see if we are a good fit. If what you're looking for is what I'm offering, and if what I'm offering is in fact what can help you the most. I believe that this work is by far the most important work you can do. To get to a point in your life that you're absolutely sure who you are, what you want, and you can do and express yourself in an authentic way with no filters, knowing that you're coming from a place of truth, of love, and that you're affecting your life and the world, not only the ones around you, but the whole world, in the best possible way you can. That was what this work is about. If you're interested, send me a direct message. That's all for me now. I hope to see you soon. I'm Sérgio Santos. Bye.